family alleges reps sought to question him without lawyers. Thailand hosts Myanmar junta leader amid regional scrutiny and human rights concerns. Welcome to the Prime Desk on S24 Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am your host, Gloria Atta, bringing you the top stories making headlines within Nigeria and around the world. But first, let's take a look at today's top stories. EFCC to lift Osun account freeze ahead of governorship election. PFIPC probe deepens as Adeyemi's family alleges reps sought to question him without lawyers. Thailand hosts Myanmar junta leader amid regional scrutiny and human rights concerns. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to immediately discontinue its action against the Osun state government by vacating the court order freezing the state's account. In a statement issued by the State House, the president said while he remains committed to the independence of anti-corruption agencies, the timing of the EFCC's action was inappropriate given the proximity of the Osun governorship election. President Tinubu stressed that nothing should create the impression that federal institutions are being used to influence the electoral process. He explained that although he had not been fully briefed on the circumstances surrounding the investigation, preserving public confidence in the integrity and fairness of the election was paramount. Recall that the EFCC had obtained a court order to freeze the state's accounts as part of an investigation into alleged financial misconduct. However, the Osun state government has denied any wrongdoing, insisting the allegations are unfounded. Meanwhile, the family of the alleged Director General of the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, Adeniyi Adeyemi, has accused members of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the council of attempting to question him in police custody without the presence of his lawyers. According to the family, Adeyemi declined to answer questions, insisting that any interrogation should take place with his legal representatives present and in a transparent manner. The House committee had earlier announced plans to question Adeyemi while he remains in police custody, saying it would avoid interfering with ongoing investigations by security and anti-corruption agencies. The committee is investigating allegations of impersonation, forgery, financial misconduct, and the unlawful use of government facilities linked to the council. Now, social media influencer Martins Ose, popularly known as Very Darkman, says he's willing to honor the Nigeria police invitation over allegations he made against Assistant Inspector General of Police, Moshood Jimoh. However, through his lawyer, the activist says the interview must be transparent and observed by representatives of the Nigerian Bar Association, civil society organizations, and other independent observers. He also insists that his legal team must be allowed to remain with him throughout the interview. The police say both Very Darkman and the senior police officer have been invited as part of ongoing investigations and have reaffirmed their commitment to due process. Now, Nigeria may be a step closer to reviving the long-abandoned Ajaokuta Steel Complex after securing a major gas supply agreement aimed at powering the facility. The deal is expected to address one of the biggest obstacles to restarting operations at the multi-billion-dollar steel plant. God's Power Udwokang has the report.
The federal government has taken a major step towards reviving the Ajaokuta Steel Complex with a new gas supply agreement designed to power the Long Ideal facility. Under the deal, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited will supply up to 50 million standard cubic feet of gas per day to Ajaokuta Steel Company as feedstock for its power plants, providing the energy needed to operate the steel complex. The availability of gas has remained one of the biggest concerns raised by potential investors over the years, as the entire steel plant and its supporting infrastructure depend on gas for operations. Constructed by Soviet engineers in the late 1970s, the Jakarta Steel Complex has consumed more than $8 billion in investment over the past 5 decades without producing commercial steel, despite Nigeria's vast iron ore deposits and its potential to drive industrialization. President Bola Tinubu has set a target of producing 10 million tons of crude steel annually by 2030. Although the main blast furnace is yet to become operational, engineers at the complex have begun producing items such as manhole covers, utility poles, and rail tracks using a modular blast furnace. To ensure the plant's revival, the federal government plans to adopt a public-private partnership model that will allow private investors to finance and operate the facility for between 10 and 15 years before transferring it back to government. Officials said the arrangement is expected to attract investment, restore steel production, and support Nigeria's broader industrial development agenda.
Thanks for staying with us. The federal government has commenced work on Nigeria's first national rehabilitation and assistive technology strategic plan. The initiative aims to improve rehabilitation services and expand access to assistive technologies for persons living with disabilities, older persons, and people recovering from injuries or illnesses. Officials say the framework will strengthen the healthcare system while promoting local innovation and the production of assistive devices. Stakeholders from government, healthcare institutions, development partners, and disability advocacy groups are currently meeting in Abuja to develop the strategy. The federal government has unveiled the Tinubu Light Initiative, a nationwide renewable energy program aimed at providing affordable clean energy to 1 million micro, small, and medium enterprises across Nigeria. The initiative was launched by the National Board for Technology Incubation during the Next Gen Innovation Challenge 2026 in Abuja. Director General of the NBTI, Dr. Kazim Raji, said the program is expected to create more than 50,000 direct jobs, lower production costs for businesses, promote local manufacturing, and boost the competitiveness of Nigerian enterprises. He said the initiative is designed to address the challenge of high energy costs caused by unreliable electricity supply and dependence on fuel power generators. According to him, the program will also encourage local production of renewable energy equipment, reduce carbon emissions, and expand economic opportunities for women and young entrepreneurs. Raji described the initiative as more than an electrification project, saying it is also an industrial, employment, and poverty reduction strategy aligned with President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. He added that the Next Gen Innovation Challenge 2026 attracted thousands of entries from innovators in sectors including renewable energy, agriculture, artificial intelligence, healthcare, and financial technology. Let's now turn to the voices of Nigerians on the street. Social media has transformed the way people consume information and spend their free time. But as scrolling becomes a daily habit, many are asking whether books are being pushed aside. S24's Miriam Dalhatu was on the streets of Abuja to find out.
Books, libraries, and lecture notes were once the center of education, but students are being seen spending more time on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Many say this is for educational purposes, while some think otherwise. We are in the street of Abuja as we try to unravel the truth behind this question. Do you think students spend more time on social media? Do you think social media is distracting students? Come, let's find out.
Yes, the social media has really spoiled a lot of things in the society.
Yeah.
They read less now. They read less and make students to be lazy.
It's now because what they do most of their time is on social media. They click to their phones instead of reading their books. So social media has really done wrong than good to students.
Because through social media, you can get more everything about more things, plenty things inside social media. It doesn't, at the olden time, you have to read in the night, read in the afternoon, read every time.
Why, ma?
Because when they give them the phone, they will not be able to read well. They will not communicate with their book again. They will be busy pressing their phone, watching some kinds of movies instead of focusing on their studies.
Opinions are divided. We've heard the people, we've heard their voices. Social media can be a distraction and it can be a blessing for others. The question isn't whether social media is distracting students, but if students can minimize their screen time. I'm Mariam Dalhatu reporting for S24 Television.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the news, the Prime Desk on S24 Television. Stay tuned for our international news coming up after this break. Thanks for staying with us. Indian authorities have arrested 4 Nigerians in separate anti-drug operations as part of an ongoing crackdown on narcotics trafficking. One of the suspects reportedly sustained injuries after allegedly jumping from the 6th floor of a residential building while attempting to evade arrest during a raid in New Delhi. Authorities say cocaine and heroin were recovered during the operation, while another Nigerian was arrested in connection with a separate cannabis investigation. Investigations are continuing as police work to uncover the wider drug network. Still on the international scene, Taiwan has begun its largest annual military exercise as tensions with China remain high. The nationwide drills are aimed at testing the island's ability to respond to a possible military attack and are being closely watched by the international community.
Taiwan has launched its annual Han Kuang military exercises, bringing together the armed forces, reserve troops, and emergency responders in the nationwide defense operation. The 10-day drills include live fire exercises, air defense operations, cyber attack simulation, and emergency response training. Taiwan is also testing newly acquired military equipment, including US-made Abrams tank and advanced missile systems. Thousands of reservists have been mobilized as the exercise assesses the country's readiness to respond to a large-scale security crisis. China, which claims Taiwan as its territory, has criticized the drills. Taiwanese authorities say Chinese military crafts and naval vessels have continued operating near the island during the exercise, adding to the tensions across the Taiwan Strait. Held every year, the Han Kuang exercises are Taiwan's most important military training operation. This year's drills are among the largest ever conducted, reflecting growing concerns over regional security. Mariam Dalhatu, reporting for S24 Television.
Thailand is hosting Myanmar's military leader, Min Aung Hlaing, in a visit that has drawn regional attention and criticism from human rights groups. The talks are expected to focus on security, trade, and efforts to address Myanmar's prolonged political crisis. Noella Samuel reports.
More than 900 people died in one day. Not because of war, not because of a natural disaster, but because they believed in one man. It started with a preacher named Jim Jones, a charismatic leader who promised equality, justice, and a better life. His followers saw him as a champion of the poor and the oppressed. But behind the inspiring speeches was a man who demanded absolute loyalty. In the 1970s, Jones moved hundreds of his followers to remote settlements in the South American country of Guyana. He called it Jonestown, a place he described as a peaceful paradise, far from the problems of the outside world. The reality was very different. People lived under constant surveillance, worked long hours, and were cut off from their families. Fear replaced hope. Then, on November 18, 1978, everything fell apart. After a US congressman investigating reports of abuse was murdered while trying to leave Guyana, Jim Jones ordered his followers to drink a fruit-flavored drink mixed with cyanide and sedatives. Parents gave it to their children first, and by the end of the day, more than 900 people, including over 300 children, were dead. It remains one of the deadliest mass murder suicides in modern history. Jonestown is more than a historical tragedy. It's a reminder that no leader should ever be above questioning, and no belief should demand blind obedience. Because tell me why they should tell you to drink something and you will drink it. Because real leadership empowers people to think and not surrender their minds.
You're still watching Prime Desk on S24 television. And now we move to our explainer segment. Beyond the headlines, we provide the facts, context, and key details you need to better understand today's biggest stories. Stay tuned.
Imagine walking into an examination hall where your greatest competitor isn't a student sitting beside you, but a technology that can write essays, solve equations, and answer questions in. Sounds like science fiction? It's already happening. Artificial intelligence is transforming education, and it is raising an important question. Can WAEC and NECO keep up? The answer is yes, but not without change. Since the launch of tools like ChatGPT, schools and examination bodies around the world have been rethinking assessment methods. UNESCO has also urged countries to establish a clear guideline for the responsible use of AI in education, warning that technology should support learning rather than replace it. The real challenge is no longer whether students can access AI, but whether examination bodies can still measure genuine understanding. That shift may force WAEC and NECO to rethink how they access students. Future examinations could place emphasis on memorization and more on critical thinking, creativity, and the practical application of knowledge. At the same time, stronger measures to protect exam integrity and curb technology-assisted malpractice may become just as important as the examinations themselves. The twist is that AI may not be the biggest threat to WAEC and NECO, but it could become the reason they eventually evolve. The future of examinations will depend on their ability to adapt to the changing world where technology is also changing education
while still ensuring that every certificate still represents genuine knowledge, honesty, and the ability to think independently.
Imagine discovering at 25 that the people you have called mom and dad your entire life are not your biological parents. Not because they hid it well, but because they never told you. Would you feel grateful they raised you, or betrayed that they kept such an important part of your identity from you? Many adoptive families in Nigeria struggle with, should parents tell adopted children they are adopted? Adoption is a legal process that gives a child a permanent family. Once an adoption is finalized, adoptive parents have the same rights and responsibilities as biological parents. But one difficult decision remains. Should they tell the child or children about their adoption? For many years, some families believed keeping adoption a secret would protect the child from stigma, discrimination, or emotional pain. In Nigeria, where myth still surrounds adoption, some parents worry their child or children may feel rejected or begin searching for their biological families. However, child psychologists and adoption experts increasingly agree that honesty is the healthiest approach. Research has also shown that children who grow up knowing they were adopted often develop stronger trust in their parents and a healthier sense of identity. When children learn the truth gradually and in an age-appropriate way, adoption becomes a normal part of their life story rather than a shocking secret. On the other hand, discovering the truth accidentally through relatives, neighbors, or documents later in life can leave a child feeling hurt, confused, and betrayed. It may damage the trust they have built with their parents over many years. Every family's journey is different, and there is no perfect script. But many experts agree that children deserve to know the truth about their story from the people they trust the most. At the heart, adoption is not just giving a child a home. It is giving them honesty, belonging, and the confidence to embrace who they are. So if you are an adoptive parent, would you tell your child they were adopted, or would you keep it a secret?
Let's be honest, most of us have said, please don't spoil the movie for me. We want to experience every twist and surprise for ourselves. But then something funny happens. A friend watches the movie before we do, and the question starts coming. So, was it actually good? Did the ending make sense? Wait, does that character survive? We may not want the whole story, but somehow we want a few details. So why do we do that? Well, we like surprises, but we also like knowing what we're getting into. Sometimes we want to know if the movie is worth spending 2 hours on. Other times we are simply just too curious. Think about it. If everyone is talking about one shocking scene, it's hard not to wonder what happened. Even if we don't want the full spoiler, we want a little clue. The funny thing is, it's different when someone spoils the movie without asking. That can be frustrating because it takes away the choice. But when we are the one asking the questions, it doesn't feel like the movie has been ruined. It feels like we're getting just enough information to satisfy our curiosity. And for some people, knowing a few details actually makes the movie more enjoyable. They spend less time worrying about what's going to happen and more time paying attention to the story and the performances. So maybe it's not that we hate spoilers. Maybe we just hate spoilers that we didn't ask for. Now, be honest, if your friend has already seen the movie you're planning to watch, are you waiting until you see it yourself? Or are you asking, just tell me one thing, is it worth it?
Now it's time to take a break from politics and current affairs as we bring you the latest from the world of entertainment. Let's join S24's Karimat Hassan for a roundup of the biggest entertainment news making waves today.
Afrobeat keeps reaching new heights, and this time, the man behind the music is getting his flowers. Producer Tempo has received a Spotify plaque after Love Wanting, the global hit by Siki, officially surpassed 1 billion streams on the platform. The achievement makes it the first Nigerian solo song to hit the milestone. Released in 2019, the song became a global sensation through TikTok before taking over streaming charts worldwide. Fans and industry colleagues have since celebrated Tempo, saying the recognition is a well-deserved reminder of producers who helped create some of Afrobeat's biggest hits. From music to to food, celebrity chef Hilda Bassi is trending after stepping outside her Lekki restaurant to personally invite passerby in for a discounted meal. Videos of the moment quickly spread online, with many praising her humility and business mindset. Others link the move to Nigeria's economic realities, saying businesses are now becoming more creative in attracting customers. Either way, the gesture has kept Hilda at the center of conversation. Meanwhile, businessman King Ochacho has sparked debates after giving celebrities 6 months to begin building on plots of land he gifted them in Abuja. According to him, beneficiaries including Davido, Zlatan, and Tenny could lose the land if construction doesn't begin within the deadline. He also revealed that content creator Pella is the only recipient who has completed his property so far. The announcement has divided opinions, with some supporting the ultimatum, while others question whether the gift came with those conditions in the first place. And finally, Afrobeat star Ruga is building anticipation ahead of Friday by teasing 4 new songs. The preview showcased a mix of energetic records and soulful melodies, with fans praising his versatility while staying true to his signature sound. His team has also fueled excitement with teaser visuals and hints at even more surprises, including a track titled Do Nothing. With fans already counting down, all eyes are now on Friday to see if the full release lives up to the hype. Karimat Hassan, S24 Television.
They get wetin oyibo dey call female genital mutilation, wey plenty people know as FGM. Some dey call am female circumcision. This one na when they cut, they remove, or they even tear any part of woman private part for reason wey no concern hospital treatment at all. They say na tradition, say e go make pikin no quick carry belle when e never marry. But hear me out, the World Health Organization, wey be WHO, don make am clear say this one no get one single health benefit at all, and the whole world don agree say na wicked tradition wey dey damage women life. As me and you dey talk so, girls and women wey pass 230 million for the whole world dey live with the heavy pain of this matter. And about 4 million young girls dey inside danger dey face this matter every year. They dey usually do this thing when the girl still be pikin, from small baby level come reach young girl stage. And most times, they no dey give them medicine to take block the pain wey e dey cause. The razor abi knife wey they dey use sef fit even carry infection. WHO don divide this thing into 4. From small cutting of clitoris reach heavy cutting where they go remove tissue or even come sew the private part make am small. No matter the one wey you do, FGM dey permanently spoil natural body tissue, and na bad tradition e be. The danger of this cutting go start immediately when the thing happen, because the girl wey dey do am for go face pain well well. E go dey bleed, wey be say before e go stop, e go hard. Im body go dey swell up, and to piss go come be problem. E fit even come die as e don lose blood too much. Poison sef fit enter her body. The bad mark of this FGM no dey end for childhood at all, because e go dey follow woman go throughout her whole life. Medical research come show say FGM dey cause continuous pain for lower belle. Under your belle like this go dey pain you every time. Your private part go come fit get infection. You go dey get pain wey be say you sef no understand every month wey you dey see your period. Heavy hard scar tissue go dey, and serious pain for intimacy sef go join. When time come reach make the girl carry belle and make e born pikin, all these things go bring heavy danger for am. Wey be say to born the pikin, e go hard. They fit even come tear am, e go lose blood well. Emergency operation wey you no expect, e go come fit happen. So many survivors still dey suffer mental wahala like heavy fear, deep sorrow, and bad memories wey dey disturb the brain because of this thing wey dey don happen to them when they dey small. FGM na something wey we fit completely stop. No be say we fit, na wetin we suppose stop sharp. If we educate people, we use community leaders take talk truth, we enforce strong laws, and we make clear decisions to protect the dignity and future of every girl child, this thing go come be like say we no know am, or we no see am before. If you know who for any village wey still dey do this bad tradition, tell them say na one sharp way to spoil woman life be that o, and make they stop am immediately.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Barcelona have entered the race to sign Manchester City midfielder Rodri. Reports indicate the Spanish champions have contacted both the players' representatives and Manchester City over a possible transfer. However, Barcelona face competition from rivals Real Madrid, with more clubs also expected to join the race for the Spanish international. And Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says his ambition is to build a winning dynasty at the Emirates Stadium. Arteta says the Gunners will compete for every trophy this season, adding that the club's focus is not only on winning titles, but sustaining success for years to come. And this brings us to the end of the Prime Desk on S24 television. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the EFCC to vacate the court order freezing Osun State government accounts, saying the timing could undermine confidence in the state's upcoming governorship election. The PFIPC investigation takes a fresh twist as the family of detained suspect Adeniyi Adeyemi accuses a House committee of attempting to question him in custody without his legal representatives. And internationally, Thailand hosts Myanmar's military leader Min Aung Hlaing as regional leaders discuss security and trade amid growing criticism from human rights groups over the visit. Do join us tomorrow, same time, and remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television for more updates and breaking stories. My name is Gloria Atta. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.